Greetings, Minecraftians. This is Daruk, and we are talking about elements of my Nightclock. Right now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this elevator I popped in there. It's not actually integral to anything to do with the clock, so you don't need it, but I figured I did throw it in my tower, so if you'd like to see how it works, here it is. None of the elements of this are unique to me. Everything in here has pretty much been created by somebody else. But I kind of tweaked it, added it a little bit together. It's essentially a piston elevator, and I like this for a couple of reasons over a zipper-style elevator. A piston elevator, as you can see, quickly punches below me with pistons to push me up, and then ejects me sweetly at the top. The reason why I like it better than the zipper elevator is the zipper elevator works, just as fast, but it kind of jostles you back and forth as you're going up, and it's very stuttery, and I don't like it as much. And it may be psychosomatic, but this one just seems faster. So I have linked to the tutorial that explains kind of how the piston elevator works in the links underneath, so make sure and check that out. But the wiring I did completely differently. I actually did the wiring zipper style, so that's what this looks like here. Again, the tutorial for this is in the links at the bottom, and I'm not going to go back over that. Go ahead and look at that tutorial if you're interested. I didn't create this, obviously. And the reason I did it is because it's a lot easier to wire and less tedious than the original piston style, even though it might be a block or two bigger, although it's probably about the same size. The reason why it's easier is because you're not doing complicated repeater sets going around and around all the way up, and if you forget one setting on those, then you're basically screwed. So let me show you how it works. Once you've got the backing from the zipper style elevator, then what you do is make this coming out here, and essentially what you have to do is get a sticky piston like this one to come out, and then have a non-sticky piston extend. Okay, so this is where you'll be standing in the elevator, and you have to have this come out and go up, and then this come out and go up slightly later, which is taken care of by the zipper machinery. And then what you have to do, let me show you, it comes out and up, is you have to get this to lower itself first, de-extend first, and then have this come back in. So there's a couple of tricky timing things, but it's actually pretty easy. So once you got your zipper back, here's what you do. Find one of these torches in the middle, so you can see they're alternating all the way up. Bring it out 2, add 3 to the right or to the left of it. You can see it's just mirroring the other side. Go down 1 over here, and come up 1. And then what you do is just add 2 repeaters. The one in the center you set to a timing of 4, and then you put 1 here and leave it where it's at, a timing of 1. And then everywhere else that's left, you just go ahead, oh sorry, there's a torch there. Everywhere else that's left, you go ahead and wire with redstone. So the way this works is, as this is going up, it'll just, fire a stream of these, so it'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way up, just like that. And when this fires, also bear in mind, you're going to have to put a block there for the one on top, and that stops the redstone from coming down and firing this bottom one when you don't want it to. But essentially, what will happen is this comes out, and it takes a little bit of time to fire this one right here. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it fires this one immediately because of this spot right here. You see the redstone right next to it? So it fires immediately when it comes out, but it also gets a second pulse here, which shouldn't matter for anything. Oh, I'm sorry, it does matter. Let me explain again. This here causes this one to fire first. Then this one fires 1 tick later, which causes this to go up and extend. It de-extends, and then this one's still extended. Yeah, actually, let me fire this so I can kind of explain it. Okay. So you can see this has caused this one to fire. This one then causes this one to fire. Then this one goes empty and causes it to drop down, at which point this one, which has still been powering this for the entire time, cuts out and it pops back in. So you've got some tricky stuff to get this to fire first and last. But that's kind of what's going on. And once you've done that, it's simply just repeating this pattern all the way up. You don't really have to think. You can just go mindless. So that's what's going on. There are 2 other things you need to keep in mind. Well, actually, 3 other things you need to keep in mind when building this. I added a pulse limiter here because it seemed to be necessary for the button just because of the way things work to not keep the pulse out too long. So essentially what a pulse limiter does is when I add a pulse in here, this torch right here fires for a brief period of time, which is determined by how much space I've got in there, and then turns itself off. And that kind of gets the whole deal started. So please feel free to download this map and take a look at how exactly I did it here. But that's what gets it started. Now, bear in mind you have to have a wall here going up. I've got some glass blocks because if you punch out those two blocks like I did and then start it, it will spit you out just like that and you won't go anywhere. So once you add the block, then magically it works. Also bear in mind you have to stand in the middle of the elevator when it's working. If you stand off to the right or to the left, it won't send you on your way either. Once you get at the top, I had to add these 2 obsidian blocks because down about 12 blocks, because that's how far pistons push up, it was pushing my machine up and kind of punching through the roof and not working correctly. So I'm not sure quite why that is. I tested several times and wasn't able to determine, so I just added 2 obsidian blocks as kind of a cheater method. Obsidian blocks cannot be pushed by pistons, and so whatever the timing issue this thing was having, this makes it work. Also, just naturally, because of the way that the piston elevator works, it will spit you out on top, just like it did here, which is a nice little feature that a lot of people add to their elevators to prevent you from falling to your death once you get up to the top. So it just spits you out naturally. And that is everything. So if you would like to see kind of what I did here, it's in the map, which is available for download at the bottom of the video. And of course, I've linked to all the videos I stole this stuff from, and please give the people who created this first the proper credit. And that's it. Check out some of the other videos to learn more about the Nightclock. Thanks.